Good day, everyone. I am still trying to figure out if we are live or not. We are live. We are indeed live. Excellent. So I am here at Yutenji station, which is Yutenji is a very nice residential area close to Nakameguro, and from here I will walk through mostly residential areas all the way to Sangenjaya. It's a walk that I don't think I've done before, so should be nice. Just like yesterday, it's a pretty gloomy day here, but very comfortable weather-wise. Let's see, we have a little map here, so let's start by checking that out, shall we? Yeah, I am more Genki today. I slept very well last night, so that makes a huge difference. So glad that you actually noticed that. Yeah, so we are here indeed, and let's see, north is this way. Okay, so basically we are heading, I think we should be heading like this direction. There's this nice little greenway that I will try to follow today, large part. So yeah, let's get going. Yeah, I was very sleepy yesterday, but I actually crashed and fell asleep like 1 hour earlier than usual last night, and then I slept for a good solid 8+ hours last night, so yeah, feels great. This area is actually really nice. It's a place where I would love to live myself, and it's very close to the city center. Like Nakameguro is not like maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes walk from here, and then yeah, you can reach Shibuya in another 15 minutes by walking. So very nice location, but it still has this very kind of local vibe with small, a little bit of Shimokitazawa, but being way less well known, so it's more of a hidden neighborhood, I would say. More of a Japanese crowd. I don't think that there's as many foreigners living in Yutenji as there are in Shimokitazawa, and also it's much smaller, of course. So yeah, the tower that you can see in the distance, that's the Cerulean Tower, which is a nice hotel in a high-rise, very close to Shibuya station. So that gives you, I guess, a good landmark. So I'm heading north right now, following the train tracks. Oh, the comments are not open. I see. That's a bit of a surprise. I thought they should be, but maybe maybe Google don't allow comments before the stream. Not sure. I've never heard about that before. No, it's not Roppongi Hills. Roppongi Hills is further away. I doubt we can see it from here. So, as I said, this is a unknown area for me. Can you see me? Mirror, full body reveal. Yeah, let me check the map so I am heading in the right direction. Disable comments, huh? I don't know. Let's, I mean, use the chat for now, and if the problem is there once the live has ended, then I will look into it. But my guess is that it's just that comments open after the live. Cerulean Tower, what does that have to do with Pokemon? I'm not so familiar with the Pokemon universe, so I don't really understand the references. And it's a little bit of sun coming out now. Oh, nice. I don't have a lot of time, so yeah, you can see the Shibuya skyline, quite nice. So from left to right it's the Cerulean Tower, and then to the right of that there's the Shibuya Scramble Square with the observation deck on top, and then the building with the white kind of pattern on it, that's Shibuya Stream, which is also quite newly opened. Oh, Cerulean City, is that the name of the city in the Pokemon games? I did not know that. Sorry, I never played Pokemon. Uber Eats, yeah, it's getting really popular now because of the pandemic. So a lot of people do home deliveries. Like they don't want to go out and eat, so they order food instead. So yeah, I think Uber Eats managed to really make the best of this situation, and it really became the kind of gold standard in home delivery systems. So yeah, I see those bikes all the time as well. They're super common now, and it's quite new. I mean, we had Uber Eats before the pandemic as well. Maybe they've been around for like 2-3 years, but I think before it was mostly like company employees maybe ordering like lunch for the entire team, and those kind of people using it. I don't think it was so common to order food like as an individual to your home, but yeah, now they are really popular, and they're also doing a lot of advertising. So yeah, like I said, I don't have too much time today, so probably around 1 hour to 90 minutes. So hopefully I will make it all the way to Sangenjaya in that time. Found the greenway that I was talking about, so I think I can basically follow this for a quite long time, and I will reach Sangenjaya. Someone asked if the streams are planned at a specific place and every day. No, not really. I just do it when and where I can fit it into the rest of my schedule, basically. So today, for example, I'm not planning to go into the city center, so I had to pick a location relatively close to where I live. So to get here, to get to the starting point of this walk from my house, took me maybe 20 minutes, which by Tokyo standards is pretty quick, yeah. What time is it there? It's 10 minutes past noon. Was that guy wearing a mop on his head? Oh, I didn't see that. Hey, was it Olivia? Hello, Olivia. And hello everyone else of my loyal followers. A lot of you here today I see, which is always great. It's so nice that the sun came out. It was very gloomy the entire morning, so I thought the day would be like this, but yeah, it's actually a bit better now. I guess I should give you the obligatory weather update. This is interesting, like a playground built into kind of slope, and they use the kind of the slope. Pretty neat. Maximizing space usage, I guess. So yes, weather update. Let me see. It says we can see anything else than the reflection of the sky, which we can't. We can't really see much. Oh, there we go. 24 degrees. Cloudy. And 72% humidity. Not windy at all. Yeah. Very comfortable. Oh, I see something here. Hey, buddy. Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Hey. I don't know if you can see him. I have zero control over the focus. Anyway, cute little cat in here. リスじゃない、猫だった。ずっとこんな季節なら良いのに。そうですね。気持ちいいですね。今の気温ちょうどいい。One of my Japanese viewers said that he or she wished that it was always the weather would be like this all the time. That would be kind of boring though, but yeah, I do really like this. Yeah, I should get some catnip. That would be nice. Yeah, I timed out that guy who was spamming the chat. Annoying people. I kept timing them out. Maybe I should just block them right away instead. Will you be going to the main street of Sangenjaya? Yes, I think so. Depends on what time it is when I get there, but I hope I'll be able to walk around a little bit in Sangenjaya as well, not just end as soon as I arrive. Okay, so from now on I'll just block everyone completely who keeps spamming. Not even timing them out, just block them right away. Too quiet. It's funny, like I keep getting comments saying that the walks are too quiet, and then I keep getting walks saying that I should talk keep getting comments saying that I should talk less, and then some people are like, I don't know, you'll never be able to please everyone on YouTube. Which country is nicer looking to you, Sweden or Japan? Really depends on what you mean. Like, I mean, both are beautiful in their own way. I wish that cities in Sweden were as clean as they are here in Japan, but I often miss the kind of European architecture and, like, you know, beautiful historical city centers, which we don't really have much of here in Japan. Here, like, most of the houses and buildings are pretty ugly, in my opinion. Yeah. Ohayou gozaimasu. What's up with all these people spamming in Spanish? Where did they come from? How did they find my stream? Why are they doing this? Super annoying. Oh, thank you, MTN. Hamburger. Maybe cheapest hamburger at McDonald's. But thank you nonetheless. It's very peaceful here. Yeah, super quiet. It's a national holiday in Japan right now. So some parts are probably busier than usual, but yeah, this quiet part of the residential neighborhood is never gonna be busy. Yeah, I mean, it's okay to say hello, but not posting like 3 messages in a row in a language that the vast majority of the chat can't even comprehend. Oh, thank you, Jenny. Time to make it a set. Sure thing, I will. Yeah, very nice jogging route this. It'd be nice if I lived around here. How do you find these paths? I usually look for them on Google Maps. They're quite easy to spot. They're a thin green line. Yep. More ban. Is it super expensive living in Japan? It really depends on what you compare with, but I don't think so. I think it's much more expensive to live in places like London, Paris or New York than in Tokyo. But of course, if you compare with the kind of country where the average income is way lower, then yeah, Tokyo would be obviously quite expensive. Do Swedes consider themselves to be Western or more like Scandinavian, separate from the West? Both. I think we're like Scandinavians is a subgroup of Westerners. So yeah. In Australia, I pay $430 a week in rent. Wow. Well, $400 a month is super cheap, though. Like, that must have been a very basic, simple accommodation. I mean, finding anything here for less than, say, $800 is extremely difficult. And $800 would be like, yeah, very old one-room studio, quite far from the station. So, yeah. But basically rent here is what I would consider the only thing being more expensive than what I'm used to in Sweden. But on the contrary, rent and some groceries like fresh vegetables are quite expensive here too. But other than that, most of the things here are cheaper than back in Sweden. Yeah, in Odawara you can find, like outside the big cities you can find for less, but if you want to live in Tokyo, relatively central, then I think you would be living in a really crappy place if you only paid that little. But definitely, as soon as you get out of as soon as you get out of the cities, you can find rent like super cheap. Like people can live in the countryside and pay like 20,000 yen a month in rent. So you buy food to cook at home? Yeah, often. But we also do takeout quite often, so we do both. Konbini though, I rarely buy groceries at the Konbini because Konbini has very small selection and usually quite expensive and only kind of low quality products. Yeah, I think rents in major US cities are like crazy expensive. seems way more expensive than here in Tokyo, actually. In like New York and San Francisco, and I'm not sure about LA, but well, maybe on a similar level as Tokyo. Depends. But the thing with Tokyo, at least, is that here you have a very wide range of accommodations and in all price brackets. So if you need to find something for like $700, $800 a month, at least you can. And it would still be like fairly central, whereas like in Sweden that would be the problem in Sweden is more like that there's not enough apartments, that there's such a long waiting list. Brisbane sounds also quite expensive. Like when I was living in Nakano, Nakano is one stop from Shinjuku, which is the busiest train station in the world and like the super central part of Tokyo. I was living in Nakano, one stop away, and we were living 5 people in a detached house, so everyone had their own room, maybe like 10 square meters each, and then we shared the living room and kitchen. And for that I paid 60,000 yen a month. So yeah, $600. If you're on a budget, you can find decent accommodation here too, if you're okay with like sharing. Do you eat the fried chicken at 7-Eleven or Family Mart? Very rarely. I'm not a fried chicken fan in general. And I'm also not a fan of convenience store food in general, so yeah, that would be a very like only in an emergency. If I would buy some food at the convenience store, it would probably be their sushi rolls or onigiri. Share houses are common in Japan. They're getting more and more common as well, but they've been, at least since I came here, there's been lots of those. No, not even Karage-kun red. Yeah, 60,000. You can find lots of share houses for that kind of price. The issue would be to find one which is nice and where people are, taking good care of the shared spaces. And that was everybody in the share house I was living in. It was mostly Japanese people there. And everyone was very responsible. I ended up staying there for like over 2 years. I really enjoyed it. No, it was not a sakura house. This was managed by a private individual. My experience with sakura house is not very good. The first place I stayed, the first 2 or 3 places actually I stayed when I first came to Japan 12 years ago, were all sakura houses, and they were all pretty crappy, to be honest. Like, most of the people there were just staying for very short periods of time, and they didn't really care about cleaning up after themselves. Showers were usually quite gross, and kitchens were always a mess. So yeah, I think the best is if you can find some privately run house and basically check how long the other people in that house have stayed there. If they all stayed for a longer time, then that's a good sign, I think. Oh, thank you, Michael X. Very nice of you. How much does a house cost over there if you want to buy it? It really depends. Basically, most people in central Tokyo, most people probably pay more for the land, or not probably, they do pay more for the land than for the house itself, because land prices here are very expensive. That's why you will see most houses, especially most newer houses, are very small. Usually what happens is that there's like maybe, you know, someone has owned land and a house for a long time, like 50 years or so, and then when that person passes away, the kids inherit the land, and what they often do is they tear down the house, and then they maybe chop off the land and sell a part of it, like half of it, and keep the other half and build their own house on that. So houses have like progressively turned smaller and smaller, or at least the footprint of the house, but then instead they usually build it in like 2 or 3 stories. So, but then again, if you just leave Tokyo, like if you're okay with living like say an hour away from the city center, then you can actually find places where, you know, where land is essentially free. So yeah. How did you find the share house? It was through connections. A friend of mine was living there, and then I was looking for a place, and she told me that, one of their places just, one of the rooms in her house just got open, and I've been hoping to be able to move in there, so it was a very lucky chance. Now I actually know this place. I remember, I came here with my Dutch friend on our evening walk not too long ago. We actually sat down there on the benches and had a beer. So I've been here before, but only at night. Are we ever going to get a name reveal? Well, everybody on my Patreon knows who I am, knows my name, and then I will reveal a lot. But here on YouTube I prefer to be a little bit more private, because unfortunately there's a lot of kind of weird people here, and I do get weird comments that makes me quite uncomfortable every now and then. So health insurance expensive in Japan? It's like a tax. So usually if you're employed, I think you pay roughly 5% of your income, and your employer pays the other half. But if you are self-employed like me, you have to pay all of it. So I pay roughly 10% of my annual income after deductions. So as a Swede who is used to having free health insurance, I think it's expensive, but comparing to what I hear from my American friends, especially those who are self-employed, then health insurance in Japan is very cheap. And it's also very like it basically covers everything. There's no like deductible or anything like that, except you have to pay 30% of the treatment cost, and the insurance covers the rest. But there's no like, as far as I know, there's no like upper or lower limits or anything. So it's generally quite good, I think. And yeah, if you're a student, you have to get health insurance, but then you pay like 4,000 yen a month or something, which is very cheap. Would you stream at night Sunday? I guess you haven't followed my channel much, because I do a lot of night streams, several times every week. So there's plenty of them. Plenty of night walks on my channel if you look around a little bit. Does Japan only have one time zone? Yes, only one time zone here. explorer dude. That's fine. Or just explorer. It's Andy. Yes, it's very safe. Tokyo is probably the safest major city in the world. Like, I never heard of anyone getting robbed or having any other issues, and that basically applies to almost everywhere. I wouldn't say everywhere, but yeah, even the areas that are considered like not so safe by Japanese people feel very safe as from a Western point of view. Okay, so here's a little map that explains where we are, and actually I'm almost already at Sangenjaya. So I'm here now, and this is Sangenjaya station. Came from somewhere even further out this way. So here's the border to Meguro-ku. So yeah, and we've only been 40 minutes, so I have plenty of time left. Good. Yeah, I guess if you go out and like drink and maybe especially in like rural areas, and you're like acting, I don't know, if you're being a bit cocky, you could have people argue with you. It could happen, but in general, I think would be, at least from my experience and my perspective, I feel that it's much more likely that I would be getting into a fight or an argument with someone back in Sweden compared to here in Japan. Yeah. Is it better than in Sweden? It really depends what you mean better. Some things are better here, some things aren't. I've been living here for 12 years and I've generally been very happy with my quality of life here. But it really depends what you value in life, I guess. But to me, this safety thing is a really big deal. And that's one of the best things about living in Japan. This walkway is probably owned by the local kind of, parks department or something like that. So because usually these walkways are built on top of old rivers, and they tend to be municipal land that I don't think can be privately owned. So yeah, like for example, this place is actually called Ninohashi. Hashi means bridge, even though there's no bridge here, right? But that's because this used to be a river, like I said, and there probably used to be a bridge here. Thank you, MTN. Wow, that's very generous. Super kind of you. Really appreciate it. And I'm very happy to see that, my channel keeps growing, although relatively slowly now, but still, like, I do see a nice little increase in the number of viewers, and also in the amount of income it generates. So that makes me feel very positive about the future, and that I might actually be able to turn this into something more like maybe not necessarily a full-time thing, but a little bit more, something that I dare invest a little bit more time and energy and money into in the future. Hopefully to make streams from other parts of Japan and other countries in the first step. So I'm really happy to see that, and that so many of you are so encouraging and so kind to me. That makes me super happy. Okay, I'm getting close to Sangenjaya now. It's really quiet there. Yeah, in Japan in general is pretty quiet, especially the residential areas. But then the busy areas can be super busy and loud and noisy. But it's easy to avoid the noise if you want to, which is also something that I really like. Fashion reveal. You use the Osmo Pocket for non-live videos? Yes, although I haven't really made any non-live videos in a very long time. But I think I will make one later this week, because I'll be going on a trip on Wednesday. And hopefully I will have a little bit of time. It's a work trip, but hopefully I'll have a little bit of time to record videos. Nora, sorry. Do you prefer the Swedish healthcare system? Sorry, and thanks for pointing out that I didn't answer that. I didn't see it. I do think that the Swedish healthcare system is generally very good, yes. I think healthcare should be a universal right, and that everybody, like no one should get worried that they can't afford treatment if they get sick just because they are not from a rich family or have a well-paying job. I think that's very inhumane. So yeah, I do think the Swedish healthcare system is generally the way to go. Although the problem in Sweden is that actually not enough money is being invested into it. So the quality is kind of not as good as I think it should be. Yeah, have you met Japanese who can actually speak Swedish? Yes, my wife, she's Japanese and she can speak Swedish. There's plenty of them, or not plenty, but I met a handful of others as well. What's the income tax rate in Sweden? It's 30, slightly less than 30, or it's about 30%. But then there's certain kind of deductions as well. So actually, if you're like a average income earner, you actually pay less than 30. You pay more like maybe 27, 28%. But it's important to remember that that covers everything. That covers your healthcare, that covers your pension, that covers your education for you and your family. So I think, and it covers like, we don't have things like road tolls in Sweden as well. That's also all paid for by tax money. So I think we get a lot for our money. And when talking to friends in US, it sounds like they actually all put together, they pay way more for way less. So yeah. あやくさんありがとうございます。そうですね。Today is respect for the aged days. Tell your child's voice to a Swedish family. Thank you very much. Yeah, today is a national holiday. It is indeed respect for the elderly day, which is a pretty interesting national holiday. So now we are close to Sangenjaya station, and I think here we should have today's thumbnail photo is from this famous little street. what kind of device do you use? It's my mobile phone, which is a Oneplus 8 Pro. So built-in mic, built-in camera. This street is very beautiful at night, super scenic and cozy. All these are small local bars and restaurants. I really like coming here at night actually. How about the mic? The mic is also just a built-in mic of the phone. No external mic. I'm very happy with the mic and the camera in this phone. The only issue was a bit of a wind noise, but I made my own little wind filter, and that sorted it out quite nicely. Really, it feels a bit wrong to walk around here at daytime, because at daytime it doesn't look so nice. It's quite messy, but yeah, these streets at night are super beautiful. Nope, no external mic. I haven't found a good external mic that would give me stereo sound and which isn't like too directional. So actually I prefer to use the built-in mic because that picks up lots of the ambient sounds as well. If I get an external mic, it would be a shotgun. I don't see any benefit to getting a external mic at the moment. And I'm very happy with the sound quality of this built-in mic as well. I think it has nice stereo separation and manages to pick out my my voice very well as well. Lots of construction going on here. Is graffiti becoming more and more? Not really. In some areas, like maybe there's a little bit more than average on these streets, for example. But in general, I don't know if this is just maybe it's probably just regular graffiti. It'll probably get cleaned up soon. Sangenjaya is my favorite place in Tokyo. Yeah, it's super nice. I really like it as well. I quite often meet my friends around here for like dinner and drinks. In general, it's a very nice area. Would love to live around here as well. Yeah, people keep mentioning Persona. I never play those games, but apparently they take place around here. So I'm glad that so many people recognize it and enjoys seeing what it looks like in real life. Hanamasa. So is this shop also in Persona? I should check it out then, that game. It would be fun to see how they recreated Sangenjaya. Right now. This is very quiet. Yeah, that corner shop. It's a plant or flower shop. But I like how they just keep it really overgrown. So let's do a little tour of the opposite side of the station as well. Although I've been here in many of my streams, but it's such a nice area. And I'm not sure if I've ever been here in the daytime, so. So some of you probably remember Carrot Tower, which I went to last week. I ended one of my streams up there. There's a beautiful lookout point. And yeah, this area is very Showa, very retro vibe. Most of the buildings here are quite old. I wonder for how long they will keep them. Lots of shops are closed. Yeah, Carrot Tower is easy to remember. It's a pretty funny name. Wow, long queue for McDonald's. So here's another street which looks gorgeous at night. Tokyo is still very much a living city, and I agree, city life is really nice. Whenever I'm away from the city, I tend to miss city life. Torre Zanahoria. Nice. Yeah, it's very nice. Hi, you're from Kumagaya. I see. Kumagaya, I've been there once. Can't remember why, but I think I was on a work trip and for some reason I had to stay there for a night. Yeah, Tokyo Setagaya line is awesome. I need to follow that entire line sometime, and I do need to go to the Catch Shrine as well. It's definitely coming up relatively soon. Okay, so now other side of this little cute Suzuran Dori. So yeah, we're at the 1 hour mark almost. Hello from Setagaya. Hello. I'm in your neighborhood. I think I will keep this walk a little bit shorter today, so I think I will wrap it up soon. It's actually my wife's birthday, so I have some things to take care of. Yeah, I think Suzurandori is one of these names that you come across a lot. But yeah, it's been a very nice weekend walk, and I will be back with a stream tomorrow. And they're playing Scatman on the street right now, which is awesome. Reminds me of being a teenager. This was such a big hit in Sweden. Let's see, I should probably leave as soon as possible so I don't get any copyright issues with this music though. Yeah, copyright Scatman. So yeah, thanks a lot for joining me today, and I will cross here and end at the station. And yeah, I hope to see you all tomorrow. My guess is that tomorrow it might be an evening stream, although it's not decided yet, but I guess so. Anyway, thanks and bye bye. See you next time. ありがとうございます。さよなら、また今度。おやすみ。いや、おやすみではない。じゃあまたね。バイバイバイ。